A man who makes 100,000, 300,000 a year, that's good money. But for my specific life goals at 24, with plenty of
Man,
options and
plenty of options for what?
for dating.
And that means, man, the way you're talking is like you say you got a lot of options, but not for the kind and caliber man you're talking about, not that kind of money.
God damn.
You may have a lot of options for dudes making, average money, but not for no man talking about $300,000-$400,000 a year. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not here in Atlanta.
Well, like I said, for my life goals, a man who makes 100,000, 300,000 a year, that's cool. That's good money. But that's not enough money for me to say, I'm stopping what I'm doing and only your cares matter. What I want to do for my family, what my goals are.
This is a single woman. This is a dead woman walking. The thing is, you're going to have to do all that because your attitude, your masculine energy is going to make sure you got to take care of yourself, because the man who has more money or what you're talking about won't even deal with you.
Listen, no lies detected. Man, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, man. He is definitely missed in this community. This is why I say delusional so much, because a lot of these women are delusional. And I'm not trying to be mean towards anybody whatsoever, but the truth is the truth. A lot of these women are just straight delusional. Somebody has, really got into their heads and made them think that they qualify for men who make that kind of money, that they even measure up. If a man is making any $300,000 a year, you think he's gonna go run behind her? I'm just saying. We see the type of men, the type of women that these men go after, especially men with money and more money than that. They have a type, but I think a lot of times these women are just talking. I don't think they really believe the hype, because they've never been in a relationship with a man who made that type of money or more. I think it's just something to say. It sounds good and make them feel good about themselves. They really don't know the lifestyle of a person, of a rich man, let alone a man who makes 100 to 300,000. That's still good money. But they talk like, and this is an old clip, and I remember covering this a while back, and I came across it on social media, and I was like, hold on, let me bring this back, because it shows you how delusional a lot of women are. Oh, well, for my lifestyle and that I want 100 to 300,000 dollars, that's cool. Oh, that little measly money is cool, but that's not going to be enough for my life goals. Well, you ain't got to worry about it, because a man who makes that amount of money or even less than that amount ain't checking for you, boo. And I'm not even being mean.
Oh my God.
It's just that those men, we see the type of women that they go after. Men who have options, they have a certain type. And it's usually not what we just saw. I'm not saying she's the bad looking woman, but that is typically not a type of a man of that type of means. You know what I'm saying? For real. But it's just, I think it just make a lot of women feel good to say that. Just like when they were calling men misogynist over and over and over, just out of the blue, oh, you're a misogynist, and they didn't know what misogynist meant. It was just something to say, and it was something cute that everybody is saying, and so they just had to get in there and join the pack. But then when asked what does that word mean, I remember a video of a woman, she straight got mad and got up and walked off crying, because she was upset that she was even questioned whether she knew what the word meant or not, and because she felt embarrassed and she didn't know, she just got up and ran off crying. So stop saying things that sounds cool and trendy, and then, when you're questioned about it, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what it means. You're just saying it because it sounds good to say. And that's what I think a lot of women are doing. It's the echo chamber of the bonnet crew society, who's out here just saying things that sound good and sound important. Oh, our education's because if a man, all kinds of things they be saying, and it just doesn't make any sense. If you go on a coffee date, it just means he's doing a bare minimum. If that's what you're going to start off with, that's what you're going to continue to do. No, it just means he don't want to spend all this money on you if he don't know if he want to continue to pursue you. That's all it means. Asking you a question is not a gotcha. It's just they're curious because you're using something that you have no proof of. Saying a man is misogynistic out the blue because you don't really know what it means. And what gave you that indication that he was a misogynist? There was nothing that indicated he was a misogynist. He just asked a question, and you just saying something because you heard somebody on TikTok say it and it was trending. So once again, it's a delusional state that a lot of women are in. Most women are not going to marry millionaires. Most people don't marry millionaires. Most people in this world are not rich. The majority of people are average. So that means the majority of you are average and you're going to have average outcomes. And if you want a better than average outcome, then you get with another average person and you guys build something together, because it's easier to build together than one person trying to do it all. And that is not a new concept. This is as old as old can get. Two is always better than one. So you get two people with like minds, an agenda to do better. You do better. You put your resources together. You put your thoughts together. You create something more for you and the future of your kids, so that they can have better than what you've had. This is how people have been doing it for years. This is not a new concept. This is not a new concept. Everybody back in the days were not, we didn't have all these independent women. We know that that's a new thing. We didn't have all these housewives. The majority of couples had to work even then. This idea, a notion that, but these women over here, the white women and all these, they're at home and they hustle. No, they all work. They will even tell you, we got to work. We can't afford our lifestyle with one income. They got to both work. They've always worked. There's only like a small percentage of people who can have that opportunity to be at home, wife be at home while the man works and he pays all the bills. No, they all have to work. Majority of couples work. So y'all got to stop living this fantasy life, this fantasy world where you just sit back and get this life of leisure with all this money. Where all this money coming from? You don't have it. You weren't raised in a wealthy family, and most people weren't. So that means you have to work together. That's why it's meant for us to be together. Women and men are made for each other. Why? Because the powers that be knew that we were going to need each other. It was going to be more difficult. This is why if it wasn't as difficult, you wouldn't have so many single mothers out here crying and struggling and talking about how hard it is. Doing it all by themselves. You wouldn't hear all the complaints if it was that easy and that beneficial. No, they're complaining because it is hard. It's hard with couples. So if you out here choosing to do it by yourself, thinking that you're going to do the most, you're in for a rude awakening. So, and then women who make good money, it's only a small percent, what they say, about 10% of women who make good money, 100,000 or more, even if it's, I don't even know if it's about 10% or less. That's a small percentage of women who make that type of money. And then a lot of them are still struggling because they overspend. They're living beyond their means. And they're still looking for a man to come in and take on all of their responsibilities. So look, it don't matter how much money you make. Ain't nobody saying if you make good money, you're supposed to let all that go. No, but y'all supposed to work together. If you're doing well, he's doing well, you come together, you do better together. But a lot of women don't want to share. They don't want to do it together. They want to become independent boss chicks amongst themselves, establish a certain level of success so they can brag about it. And then when it gets overwhelming and it's too much to maintain, now you want a man who's equally or more successful to come in and take on the load and handle it all by himself when you don't even want to do that by yourself. Why is it when the man comes along, he has to do it all instead of you working together? But when you're doing it by yourself, you brag about it and you chose that. And then you change your mind because you're tired and you don't know how to maintain it. It's too much. Now you want him to come in and not only come in and help and aid and y'all work together, but you want him to come in and take on all of it. All of it. That's insanity, and y'all don't realize that. But men are not falling for it, and they shouldn't. But I just think it's just crazy the way a lot of women think, and they really think this. I said, baby, look, when women start making money, they lost their damn minds. Boy, when men were the breadwinners, which a lot of men still are the breadwinners, by the way, they do it to be able to take care of a family. When women make money, it's all about them. You can't make it up. It's unfortunate, but this is really, driving a wedge between women and men for sure. The gender war is nowhere near over because of this mentality. So I'll leave it here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Chime in the comment section, leave your thoughts, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.